One step back, two steps forward. Two steps back, four steps forward. The further back you pull, the further forward you go. A catapult or a slingshot catapult is a mechanical device that was used in ancient warfare to launch a projectile a great distance forward without the use of fuel or thrust. This device harnesses stored potential energy to propel its payload and make up for the gap between an army and its enemy. The catapult uses an elastic or spring mechanism that pulls back and by so doing expresses tremendous forward force. The further back it is pulled, the further forward the slug goes. Hi, my name is Arjun and I am a life coach, a psychotherapist, a motivational speaker and a writer. And as I speak this message to you in March of 2020, the world is gripped with the fear of the coronavirus, also known as COVID-19. The news cycles, headlines, and airwaves are dominated by this insidious microscopic germ that has quite literally brought the global economy to a standstill. Travel in all forms has been curtailed, symposiums have been deferred, summits have been abandoned, and people are generally apprehensive to congregate. The stock markets have tumbled, schools are closed, and medical facilities are stretched to capacity. Business, politics, and even religion is feeling the brunt of this minuscule, enigmatic agitator. You may or may not be infected by COVID-19, but we all are certainly affected by it. In a sense, we're all being pulled backwards. So let's examine how we can use this perceived reversal to drive us further forward into a fabulous future. A few nights ago, I was with a dear friend, and this friend of mine cajoled me to produce this short video. Admittedly, the inspired idea was birthed while we were enjoying a cold fermented malt beverage. That aside, it felt appropriate to address at this time this issue from an empowering perspective. You see, we humans tend to fear the things that we don't understand. So, in a bid to better understand this situation, let's ask a few questions. And here are the questions that I encourage us to ask. What is the virus here to teach us? What is the virus here to teach us? What are we meant to learn about ourselves and each other? How can we use this setback as a catapult to a higher place? What about this do we need to remember and utilize? And how do we take this mess and convert it into a message? You see, turmoil has the potential to bring forth transformation, and hence in this video I share with you three lessons that we as humanity can garner from this bug and use to transform ourselves and others. So let's get started. The three lessons from COVID-19 are: number one, equal. That's right, lesson number one from COVID-19, number one, equal. Number two, lesson number two, invisible. That's right, invisible. And lesson number three, liberal. So once again, the three lessons from COVID-19, equal, invisible, and liberal. Now, let's elucidate each of these points. Lesson one. Lesson one is equal. Equal. The virus has no prejudice, no favoritism, no bias or inequity. It is impartial and it afflicts everyone equally, regardless of race, religion, gender, or nationality. This infection is blind to your political proclivities, your relationship preferences, your income, your lineage, and even your last name. COVID-19 simply does not discriminate. It doesn't matter whether you are elite or ordinary. There is no preferential treatment. In the eyes of the virus, we are all identical. The bug does not classify, discern, or segregate or differentiate. If anything, the virus is blind to these human categorizations. Think for a moment. Think for a moment. What would happen if we human beings treated each other with the same degree of egalitarianism that is expressed by this virus? What if more of us behaved toward one another in a manner that was even and fair? How different would our planet be if we, just like the virus, looked past the discernments that have divided us for centuries? How powerful would it be if we humans treated humans with fairness and equality? And so with Lesson 1, equal. Here is the recommended action. Today, just today, reach out to and converse with just one person, one human being who has an opposite belief system than you. Perhaps even someone with a radically contrarian perspective. Allow yourself to experience interaction with an antithetical archetype, a person who is the quintessential contrast of you. Experience the resistance that you feel in that interchange and overpower your instinct to debate or disagree. Extend validity to their opposing views, and most importantly, permit yourself to feel a connection and even compassion for this supposedly incompatible individual. You don't have to change your beliefs. No, you don't have to change your beliefs. You just have to allow them to be who they are. And if you did this once a week, just once a week, with a new person each time and with diligence and grace, within a month you will begin to experience a quantum leap in peace and calm. You will build your ability to maintain neutrality in the presence of polarity, and dare I say, this is a key leadership skill. As you experience this, most likely you may be tempted to do it twice a week, perhaps even every day. And I challenge you to do this with 7 different people and notice the extent of transformation that ensues. Now here is some more action that you can take, and this is just an extrapolation of the same tenet in lesson 1, which is equal. And here it is. What if you treated the environment with the same degree of equality and fairness that you are now starting to treat people? Extend consideration, benevolence, and the spirit of equality towards nature, animals, and the ecosystem at large. Do this in any form that you wish and notice the evolution that it brings in you. So lesson 1 is equal, and the suggested action is to extend the courtesy of fairness and equality to those who are particularly different from you. Lesson 2, invisible. This infinitesimal virus, COVID-19, is unseen. In its fundamental form, it is totally unapparent to the naked eye. It is quite literally invisible. This microorganism is silent, concealed, and inconspicuous. It goes about doing its thing without any need for acknowledgement or recognition. In most cases, people who contract the virus don't even know who they got it from. The effects of this virus, however, are mammoth, massive, monumental. Just like the virus, what if we, human beings, went about helping others, adding value, and contributing in a totally invisible fashion? What if we served another human being? When we served another human being, we kept silent, stayed modest, remained humble, and did not talk to anyone about this good deed that we just did. Here is your action step for lesson 2, which is invisible. The next time you help someone, I mean really help someone, don't tell anyone about it. Resist the need to share your good Samaritan feat with friends or family. Just do the good deed and forget that you even did it. Let your act of kindness be invisible to all except the recipient. Remember, kind is not the thing that you do, it is instead the person that you are. Regardless of what you give, a kind word, a smile, a touch, a hug, a gift, money, services, or even your time, let it flow out of you as a consequence of being rather than doing. Just as you wouldn't tell someone that you brushed your teeth today, don't tell anyone about your kind actions either. Let it be absolutely nonchalant. Do it and forget that you even did it. If you want to inspire others to be kind, then let them see you adding value. Or tell them about others who are kind. Just don't talk about yourself doing the act of kindness. In all acts of kindness, stay obscure, stay invisible. Now let's extend this idea a little bit further. Lesson 2, invisible. We're just extending it a little bit further. In fact, let me ask you this in the form of a question. And here's the question. Can you help someone in a way where they don't even know that it was you who helped them? Let me say that again. Can you help someone in a way where they don't even know that it was you who helped them? This might be easiest to do with strangers. Today, deliberately seek out to help just one stranger and make it all about them. Don't talk about yourself, what you do, or who you are. Unless they ask, don't even mention your name. Just add value, give selflessly with all your heart, and when you are done, walk away. Say nothing to anyone and forget about it completely. You could give gifts or money or time or service anonymously. Many others are doing it already, and so can you. This kind of anonymous kind action is the ultimate ego release. Practice it and you will find that conflicts in your life get easier and easier resolved. So lesson 1 was equal, and lesson 2 is invisible. Serve, give, add value, and do so anonymously. So lesson 1 was equal. Treat people with equality and fairness. Lesson 2 was invisible. Help, serve, and add value to others and do so anonymously. And lesson 3 is liberal. liberal. COVID-19 is unrestricted by bureaucracy, borders, or boundaries. It goes everywhere that it can. It doesn't seek permission and it needs no passport. It just pervades, it permeates to the maximum extent that it can. If it is restricted by a vaccine or a strong immune system, it ungrudgingly stops. But until then, it will expand, it will increase, it will grow. What would happen if we allowed ourselves to be just as liberal without thinking? What if we permitted the unrestricted expansion of our thoughts? What if we challenged paradigms, amplified our creative energy, and dreamed about all that we can have and be? What if we practiced borderless, boundaryless thinking? Allow yourself to believe that you can be bigger and better than you have ever been before. Give greater autonomy to your thoughts. Visualize, hear, and feel your success. Even if for a few moments, allow yourself to believe that you have already attained that greatest goal. So lesson three is liberal, and here is the suggested actions for lesson 3. Expand your mind with new knowledge. Learn things that you have never learned before. Here's an example. Just for the sake of fun, learn 50 words in a foreign language, one that you are totally unfamiliar with. Observe how you feel. Notice how your thinking changes when you just use your mind in a way that you have never used before. Notice how empowering it feels to talk in a tongue that you never spoke in before. Here's another example. For 21 days in a row, read on a subject or a field that is completely alien to you. Do this just for the sake of exercising and building your mind muscles. Learn more, discover more. Extend outside your comfort zone. Extend outside your comfort zone and into your capacity zone. One more action idea, if I may. Daydream more. I repeat, daydream more. That's right. In your waking state, permit yourself to fantasize about the things that you have always wanted. Become childlike. Smile, laugh, giggle. Let your imagination expand. Let it go as far as it can. Postpone your fear and your guilt. Momentarily set unresourceful emotions aside. You can feel those sentiments later. Right now, dance, suffuse yourself with glee, sing, snicker, cackle, and hoot. Feel your dream rather than just think your dream. At a 2020 New Year's Eve party, when it came time for proclaiming our resolutions, I declared amongst my friends that this year I will permit myself to daydream more. And I've been doing that, and boy oh boy has it been fun. In just the last 2.5 months, my enthusiasm, creativity, and self-confidence has skyrocketed. I am attracting good fortune and luck. Just as it has worked for me, so can it work for you. Lesson 1 equal. Lesson 2, invisible. Lesson 3 is liberal, which means liberal. Discover the power of expanding your thinking. Discover the power of expanding your thinking and your dreaming. It's time to conclude. And our closing theme is LTBR. LTBR. Little things, big results. COVID-19 does little things and produces big results. Just like the virus does LTBR, you too can do these 3 little things and produce big results. Do you remember the catapult? Do you remember the slingshot catapult? The COVID-19 catapult has pulled us back several steps, and consequently we can, if we choose to, leap substantially forward. I encourage you to use these 3 ideas: equal, invisible, and liberal. And when you do, observe how you begin to change the world within you. And when you change the world within you, who knows, you might even begin to change the world around you. I wish you good health, an expanded mind, and a strong spirit. My name is Arjun, and if I can add value to you through coaching or training, then go ahead and reach me on email or through my LinkedIn profile. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much.